Hey everybody, still no shave. It's been down to there, so probably won't happen anytime soon because I don't really have to, so I don't bother. uh, Seriously, I'll probably do it soon. But anyway, when I was very little, I'm guessing between 4 and 6 years old. I don't remember exactly. I stayed at a friend of mine's house. Now this friend uh, was the son of the trainer of the football team and I think the science or biology teacher, and a friend of my daddy's. So they were comfortable, with letting me, stay the night or vice versa, and we'd play our little games or do whatever we did when we were that age. I stayed one night, and the next day they woke up, and it was in the summertime, so but they all got in the car and said they were going up to the church. Excuse me. Now we lived very close to the church, but we didn't attend the church. So if they're going to the church, fine. That's literally taking me home. We're right there beside it. So we pull up, and and apparently they were having some kind of event or something. There was literally like 100 people there attending whatever service or whatever was going on. And um, I didn't go to the church, but whenever there was a church function, like they took the kids swimming or camping or anything like that, I always tagged along. I took the benefits, but I didn't care to do the rest. Um, but we got down there, and all the adults are out in the yard talking back behind the church, um, and my buddy says, let's go inside and see if there's any drinks in the fridge, because they had a little area there where they would have events and this, that, and the other. And it was pretty often that you'd find several 2 liter bottles of Coke or what have you. So we went in there, and there was, in fact, drink, and we poured it and got the ice. And my buddy was always scared to death he was getting in trouble. I really didn't care because what's going to happen. Even at a young age, I was like, since I what, I really didn't care. I probably should have, but um, the pastor's name was Tucker, and all of a sudden he's drinking his drink, and he comes around the corner. My buddy turns around and sees him, and he flips out because he's like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm in here stealing drink." Blah blah blah. I just said, "What's up?" and drank my drink. And he ran out, and the pastor looked at me and he said, "That young man's got some serious issues." And I just kind of stared at him, I didn't know what to say to that or whatever. And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I turned and I walked away. Now, my he's scared to death. He's already run out. And I come around the corner and everybody's standing there. But the only thing you hear is my buddy just crying and screaming. And I'm like, "Dude, it's not that serious. Chill out." And he's up there, and his mother is telling him to be quiet and everything. And she's spanking him on the butt and hauling him over and putting him in the car. And so I walked over to the side. Where we parked was literally like 15 feet from the driveway of my house. So I'm standing over there by the driveway, and they're getting in the car, and she's still telling him to behave himself. And he's like, but mama. And she said, but mama, nothing. And then she looked at him, I swear to God, and she said, the only reason we're here today is to respect the passing and death of Pastor Tucker. The same guy who caught him stealing the Coke, the Coca-Cola. And I was like, but I never walked back in that church again. But that's some spooky stuff right there. And now, I mean, it was probably, maybe we had a mistaken identity. It was probably a legitimate mistake by a little kid. But what if it wasn't? Crazy things have happened. But anyway, with all that, as usual, I always want to get people interested in thinking. So I do have one question. Where are the Epstein files? Maybe they're in that pastor's grave.